and welcome to a quick pint and a catch-up with me, Sarah. This week's guest is Nicky Kong. Nicky is the general manager of one of Manchester's best-loved pubs, the Crown and Kettle. Since Nicky has been at the helm, she's won several awards, including Manchester Pub of the Year 2017, Central Manchester CAMRA Pub of the Year 2019, and Central Manchester CAMRA Cider Pub of the Year 2020. The Crown and Kettle is not only a beautiful Grade 2 listed building and a great setting to drink and relax in, but also offers a wide range of quality beers, ciders and spirits, ensuring that you'll always find something new and exciting to try when you go in. We'll be talking to Nicky about her career so far, what she's done to develop the Crown and Kettle over the years she's worked there, and how she's had to adapt her service to provide for the community throughout this lockdown period. As ever, we'll be talking to Lianne and finding out about her beer of the week. Hey Lianne, how are you getting on?
Hey, I'm good, thank you. So this week, my beer of the week is from up north, from the northeast actually, from a very up and coming Newcastle-based brewery, which I'm really excited about at the moment. So yeah, look forward to that later.
Fantastic. Well, look forward to talking to you later on, and we'll say hi to Nicky now then. So hi Nicky, how are you getting on?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you very much. So you do have a beer in front of you, I see, which is good. What are you drinking now?
I am drinking a Brass Castle Suffragitsu. So tribute was like the theme for the 2020 International Women's Collaboration Brew Day. So I went up to Brass Castle and brewed this 8% Baltic Porter.
I have found some Fell Brewery in my local bottle shop. Ooh, there it is. So Fell are based on the Cumbrian coast. I did write it down. Grange over Sands. They've just opened a little tap room in Chorlton, around the corner from my house. Bizarre, but hooray. Yeah. So I haven't visited them yet, but I did find this, and it's a Sabro and Simcoe pale. And Sabro hops seem to be all the rage at the moment.
It does, yeah.
So we'll give this a little go. Oh, it smells amazing already. Just getting wafts of hops coming off the glass. So Simcoe's got that really resiny, hoppy aroma to it. And then a lovely, right at the end, you're getting a lovely bit of papaya and mango. That's really nicely balanced. That's very tasty. I look forward to visiting them. You have done loads of things so far in your career, so it's very, very exciting to talk to you. As I mentioned, you've won loads of awards for the Crown and Kettle, loads of CAMRA awards, Campaign for Real Ale, Pub of the Year awards, not only for the pub, but also Cider Pub of the Year 2020. So that's very exciting, but I think we'll talk a little bit more about that later. You are general manager for the Crown and Kettle, so how long have you held that position?
Just 4 years, I think. Ooh. Yeah, I've just come up to 4 years this month.
Mm-hmm. So you've achieved a lot in those 4 years then so far.
Considering I knew nothing about beer 4 years ago, it's not done too badly.
Amazing. So you've had an interesting career path, and you took part in the Thwaites Hotel graduate programme, which sounds really interesting. Can you tell us a little bit about what attracted you to the industry in general, and how the graduate programme helped you in your career path?
Well, weirdly, hospitality was never really a consideration of mine, when I was younger. I'd always wanted to be a physio, weirdly enough. But after some terrible work experience, I decided, right, I can't do this. There's no what I want to do. But then I didn't know what I wanted to do. But then my first part-time job was in a hotel near my parents, and I really enjoyed that. Got a fast-paced environment. I love food, so I ended up doing hospitality management at university. And when I graduated, I got into the Shire Hotels graduate programme. Picked that compared to another big name brand because it was a lot more family orientated, a strong family culture. And the programme was really interesting as well, in that you actually worked in every different part of the hotel, from rooms, F&B, HR, sales. And they did a lot of training and development, which I found really interesting. So with Shire Hotel graduate programmes, 2-year programme, I did my WSET level 1 and 2 in wine graduation at Louis Roeder in Champagne. So that was
nice.
And there's Shire Hotel slogan was always small details, big difference, which cheesy, but I kind of liked.
It does. That really works for hospitality, though, doesn't it? That's kind of what it's about, yeah. I think it's difficult. I know there's a lot of issues in the industry where people don't feel valued in the hospitality industry, or they don't feel like it's a career path they can go into. And I think having programs like this really must help in training up and retaining staff in the hospitality industry too.
Definitely. I think as part of the program as well, you moved around quite a bit. So I started off at the Aztec in Bristol, and I got moved up to North Lakes Hotel in Penrith.
Oh, nice.
And then I did 6 months at Cotton's in Knutsford as well before I went travelling. So it kind of gave you a broad kind of range of experience, which is nice. And
what did you learn in your wine training?
Realised I've got expensive taste in wine.
Brilliant.
Don't know if it's a good or bad thing. But yeah, just everything from like the terroir, like down to winemaking, producing, that sort of thing, yeah.
It's a big breadth of knowledge.
Yeah. But it was really interesting because we tasted a lot of wine, as you can imagine.
That's nice. So, for those who don't know the Crown and Kettle, it is now, I would say, it's a Manchester institution, and definitely a Manchester institution when it comes to craft beer. Why is it such a special pub?
Well, it's a Grade 2 listed building. A pub has stood there since 1734. Prior to that, it was like a small claims court, it's like a little magistrates type place. But then the pub actually shut in 1989 due to some football trouble with City United fans, typically. And they set it on fire, hence why the ceiling now, like, it's got quite an ornate ceiling.
It's quite breathtaking when you first go in and look up at the ceiling. It's stunning. But you also, do you have quite a good community around the pub as well? You have a good regulars?
Yeah, we do. We've got quite a few regulars that come in sort of most days, like from the older sort of clientele to some of the younger guys. Get quite a nice mix, and everyone's just super nice, which is obviously a good working environment to be in.
It is definitely known for its incredible selection of drinks. First of all, we'll focus on the beer, of course, but with 8 cask and 7 keg beer lines, you have a great range on at any time. How do you choose what beers you're going to have on?
I like to say with a lot of research, a lot of beer gets drunk. Someone's got to do it, right?
Yeah, it's an important job.
I guess just so like going to beer festivals, trying new beers, talking to friends in the industry, knowing the regulars, what they sort of like, and an aspect of personal preference. Apparently I always seem to have an imperial stout on. I guess it's just knowing the customers that come in, talking to people and seeing what kind of sells, what doesn't.
But you also do special events like tap takeovers and things. I notice sometimes when I go in, you have some American breweries on and they're doing a tap takeover and that sort of thing. So how do breweries get involved with that?
I think the last one we had on from America was Jester King, beginning of the year when Cloudwater had their Friends and Family Festival. So we tend to tie in like tap takeovers depending on what local events are going on, or I think we had a couple of 2L ones over Christmas as well, which went down really well. But it's just speaking to the brewers and sales guys and just organising it that way.
For over a year now, you've been heavily involved with ReThink Cider. What's that campaign all about, and what made you get involved with it?
So the reason I sort of got involved was to kind of broaden my drinks portfolio as such, because I've done a lot with wine, I've done a lot with beer now, and it's felt like I was lacking in the sort of cider department. So ReThink Cider is sort of like improving the way cider is perceived, educating drinkers that there's much more to cider than just your mass-produced commercial brands, which obviously dominate the market at the moment.
It's difficult to get people to try ciders as well, I think. People who are really into trying sort of artisan drinks, shall we say, they'll either sway towards beer or maybe gin. So getting people to try cider, I think, has been a real struggle, and it's been interesting to see them progress as they have.
It was a struggle, but because we kind of dedicated a keg line to cider. Having 6 or 7 bag-in-box ciders on at any one time, that was helpful. So you could actually literally give people like a row of tasters, and then they can establish like what style they like and sort of go from there to recommend bottles. But
you do have a dedicated area of the bar, which is the cider bar as well, which I think is great.
But our cider vault,
yeah,
which is quite popular with their cider fans.
And then every month you host ReThink Cider, the group in the Crown and Kettle.
So a few of us got together and set up Manchester Cider Club. The last couple have been sort of online with the COVID.
I haven't been to any of the meetings yet, annoyingly. It's one of those things that you always go, oh, damn, I've missed it. But I did check out posh vintage brut cider, and it's so akin to champagne or a really good sour beer. Yeah. Champagne method, all natural as well, so there's been no interference with anything to stop the wild yeasts from fermenting the cider either, so the breadth of flavours you're getting out of it is wonderful.
No, definitely. It's quite like diverse and complex, isn't it, with the wild fermentations and mix of acid and tannin. Yeah, it's great for food pairing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's really nice about orchards and apples and growing apples is the fact that you will have to encourage really nice biodiversity within that area as well. So in fact, of like looking after nature and like tying all that stuff into it as well, it's a really nice product to get behind. So yeah,
I got to drive a tractor when I went down to Dunham Press.
What else do you want? Oh, I am getting more into ciders. I find it difficult to drink beer and cider at the same time, so I find it difficult to find time to drink ciders. But what I have tried from those guys has been wonderful, and it'd be really nice to delve into that a bit more. There you go. It's an ambition for 2021, maybe.
Definitely. I guess I just wanted to create a strong cider game to match our beer offering as well at the pub. So. Well,
and then also Manchester's now gaining a real good reputation for its cider offering. Oh, it's awesome, and it's really nice to see because it's always been on the back burner, hasn't it, cider? And finally, I feel like it's starting to get the limelight it deserves. So that's great. Yeah. So another achievement of yours in the 4 years you've been at the Crown and Kettle is the creation of Beardless Beer Week. So what's that all about?
It actually came about from a conversation I had with Melissa Cole, Foodies Festival at Tatton Park. She pretty much inspired me because I wanted to showcase female brewers in the industry, in a very male-dominated industry. And then this expanded to include like female cider makers last year, female artists and female musicians as well.
Amazing.
They're doing some collabs with female brewers like Julie at Neptune. Melissa's done some collabs with us. Katie from Nomadic, Tara and Elaine from Mallinson's, and obviously Jager from Wildcard. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good fun. It's been really well received.
That's really good, and I feel like we're seeing more and more brewers, female brewers coming into the industry now, and they're getting the recognition they deserve. So that's fantastic. And having events like this is always going to help. Over the period of lockdown, when pubs could no longer remain open, you've adapted by offering a takeaway service. Can you go through how this worked? How did you have to adapt your usual service model to provide for your customers?
We offered the takeaway service to obviously get rid of stock that was sitting in the cellar. Because it went so well, we ended up ordering more stock and carrying it on.
Yeah, I think a lot of places did that, didn't they? I don't think anyone realised how popular it would be and how much alcohol we would need as a nation.
And how like the locals and regulars supported us, which I'm obviously really thankful for. But the way it worked was we had plastic jerry cans for sale to fill. Or customers could bring in their own clean, sealable containers in too to fill. And the regulars were just really chuffed to be able to buy cask ale to take away.
Yeah.
Although it did feel strange pouring beer into milk cartons.
Yeah, I was at Steve's at B&O when he had people coming up, and pretty inventive stuff was coming behind them.
My favourite was an ice cream tub. But
Wow.
weirdly it kind of worked because it had the measurements already inside. So you could... I was okay.
I'm not sure it's going to keep the fizz in, but just drink it quickly. Oh, bless. Yeah, no, it's been interesting to see those people adapting. You haven't been selling the bag in box things, have you? You've just been selling containers to...
Yeah, we've just sold the containers and also the 5 litre mini casks. Brass Castle, Neptune, and then Marble as well. So we have those in. We also offered like 50% off for emergency services, NHS, and key workers. So just as a thank you for everything they were doing.
Oh, that's really nice. But you managed to get through it as much as possible. But you're not open yet, are you? So you are shut for refurbishment at the moment. Do you have any plans? Do you know when your reopen is? Can you tell us?
Well, at the moment, there's not much in the pub.
Yeah, okay.
Like back to brick renovations. We've lost the bar top, which is actually quite nice, and I've warmed to the idea because it's a lot more airy, it showcases the ceiling and the arches a lot more.
Be good.
Allegedly, it will be done by the end of the month. Looking at the pub yesterday, I'm not too sure.
You got a bit of time.
I'm hoping to be open either beginning or mid-August. That's the aim, that's the goal.
Well, I think that's it for the moment. We're going to cut to Lianne, and she can let us know all about her beer of the week. So let's see what she's getting on with. And then we'll come back to you and we'll talk a little bit about the beers that got you through lockdown. How you doing, Lianne?
Great, thank you. And that was really interesting. I've just been listening in the background while you've been chatting, and it's been fascinating. My beer of the week this week is actually from a brewery that I've mentioned already on Quick Pint and Catch Up before, which is Full Circle Brewing, who are quite a new brewery from Newcastle, who I'm getting to become quite fond of. As you know, Sarah, I love a Vienna lager. It's possibly one of my favourite styles and definitely my favourite type of lager. But unfortunately, I find you don't really see them around that often. Cloudwater have done a really good one before, but this one from Full Circle is the first one I've seen around for a while, so I knew that I had to snap it up. And in fact, I decided to get quite a large haul from them so I could try out a few of their different ranges. So I'll show you. This is the pour of my Vienna lager, the 5%. It's called Hessen. I'll show you the can as well because it's quite a pretty little can. I believe that this is an image of Vienna itself, actually. So as I mentioned, Full Circle are a brewery from Newcastle, and I think they're fairly new because I'd not heard of them until relatively recently. And it looks like they opened sort of towards the back end of last year. You know, they recently came on my radar when I bought a can of their Going to Seattle West Coast IPA. But yeah, this beer it's dark, crisp and malty, which is exactly what you want from a Vienna lager. Take a sip. There's lots of hints of caramel coming through in this beer, as well as a very slight biscuity flavour. It's very sweet. So if you don't like particularly sweet beers, this is not going to come across as a standard lager to you if you're a big lager drinker. It's got a warming bitterness to it. And I would say that this is about as good as any Vienna lager I've tried. So if you are a big fan of the style, it's definitely worth checking this out. Or if you've never heard of Vienna lager before, this one might be worth giving a go. That's my beer of the week this week. I've got lots and lots of other Full Circle brews to get through. I'll also be dipping into my latest beer delivery from Pomona Island, who, believe it or not, I've not actually ordered from during lockdown so far. This could very much mean that Pomona Island could be one of my beers of the week next week. Who knows? But I'm also off to Birmingham this weekend as well to see some family, and hopefully going to get myself over to Tilt, which is a really good little craft bar in Birmingham, because I've only been there once before and I really enjoyed it when I went there over Christmas, and I'd really like to get myself back there. The staff there are super knowledgeable and they always have some really interesting stuff on as well from Birmingham and beyond as well.
Thanks, Lianne, for that. That's brilliant. So let's get back to Nicky, and she'll let us know all about her beers that got her through lockdown.
Well, I've been fortunate enough to have a lot of Neptune casks, either Galeen with Antifaction Hob Day. That was phenomenal. But like my favourite session IPA I've had during lockdown at 4.3, nice and sessionable.
Nice.
Had their Mosaic and Azili as well on casks. So I've drank that just because it's not been widely available.
Yeah. I mean, Neptune are just consistently excellent at what they produce, and their cask beer is incredible as well, just out of this world. So yeah, you've always pretty much got a stock of Neptune either waiting to come on or on the tap. So
yeah, no, absolutely. Brewed by numbers, had their 19, so mango, guava and passion fruit goza.
Wow.
It's just really fruity and really well balanced. Really like that. It's quite a nice sunny day beer, I think. Their 55 dippers really good as well, Citra and Sabro. That tropically kind of light flavour, and then the Citra kind of gives it that mango and tangerine flavour.
Lovely. They're both on keg, aren't they, those ones?
Well, I've got cans.
Cans, yeah. Nice.
Obviously, Brass Castle stuff for Jitsu again.
Lovely.
Got off a case for me, like towards the beginning of lockdown. Another goza that I've been quite impressed with is the Yonder. I don't know if you've had that.
I've not tried that.
With 170 grams per litre, like raspberries, like tart, but really tasty. It's smoothie, tart smoothie. Cider wise as well, I've been really impressed with Ross on Wye. The Ashton Brown Jersey 2015 we had at the last cider club was just phenomenal. And then Little Pomona, you can't go wrong with any of theirs, but the Hard Rain Quince is one that's really stuck with me.
I've only ever had quince and quince jelly from the cheese shop. There's very sharp red fruit, isn't it?
Yeah. Like pear-like in a way. So.
Yeah. I can imagine that'd be really, really tasty.
Crack it open next time you're in.
Yeah! Woohoo! Well, I just can't wait for you guys to be back open again.
Me too. Just bored of just going in talking to contractors now. So.
Cool. All right, well, I think we'll leave it there then. Thank you so much for talking to us, and I can't wait to get back in the Crown and Kettle for a drink and to see the refurb as well. I'm sure it's going to look awesome.
Well, thank you for having me.
No worries. Pleasure.
I look forward to having you back as well at the Crowns.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, and I wish you the best of luck, and we'll see you very soon. Cheers.